the uncle from Full House?
Jesse?
Oh, yeah, there's
No.
two very
No, the
different.
other one. The other one.
No, the one with the black hair where it's like covered in oil. I don't know.
That would be Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be Jesse.
I don't see it though.
He was hot though.
If they were talking about the other one. Yeah.
Hold on. Also, wasn't that the show Ashley was on?
Yes.
Yep.
Did you not watch Full House?
Me?
Yeah.
No. You've
It's
seen
like
Full House?
I've seen Full House. I'll say that's like the first show that I've seen that you haven't.
Really?
My
The
wife
only
is
instance.
obsessed with Full House.
What is it,
So
Uncle Jesse and is it Joey or
Joey
Yes.
and Jesse, yeah. And then Aunt Becky.
Becky?
Fucking John
Stephanie.
Stamos and Dave Coulier. I love Dave Coulier. He's a funny
Yeah.
dude.
He dated Alanis Morissette, and she wrote a song about him and dragged him.
I forgot about
Yeah.
You got it, dude.
You got it, dude. All right, everybody has that map. Let me bring up the Red Larch map for you, and then we are going to be good to go. Do you guys need a recap since it was all combat?
We killed dudes.
Yay!
Rick got the most.
Fuck off.
Allegedly.
Okay, balance the maps. Do not forget about
Um,
character sheet.
Contagious had Cloudtagious.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Echo Knight?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, I might be playing that in an upcoming campaign, so I might come to you with questions.
Aw.
That's fair.
I want to hear all about it, please. and
It's a
thank you.
fun class, but it is a bitch to manage in combat because you have so much you can do with it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's so nice, though.
Oh wow.
The full DVD
Oh
box set.
my land. You just made me think of that meme of the Girl Scout holding the Goosebump books, and it's like, oh my god, Goosebumps!
Oh, we have an unopened. We have an unopened season 8.
It's time to change that.
Who wants that?
I just
Season
bought
8
the
must
box
have
set
been
of
good.
And an opened season 8.
Oh.
Snap.
I just bought the box set of Doctor Who so I could watch them because trying to find them online is a bitch and a half.
A bitch and a half.
Only up until, what is it, 13? Everything
Yeah.
after that is downhill.
Unlucky.
Oh, Jacob's had a really fun moment where he was just like, run. Like he like owl neck. Turned his neck.
Yeah, and then even
Yeah.
with the disadvantage on their attacks, he got clapped by 2 of them.
Oh.
Hey,
Also,
we're still standing.
Yeah.
Awen would distribute. Yeah, there's 4 of us. Yeah, would distribute the 20 gold pieces that she got evenly,
Okay,
so we each get
bring that
5.
up. Okay, then let me go and change that for everybody.
I find it funny that the dude who got told to leave walked halfway out of the battle, came to his
I
senses,
know.
walked back, and then went, nah, fuck this, and left.
Yep.
Oh, shit,
Yep.
that was
The
so loud.
only survivor.
Yeah, that was good. That
No,
was
there were
good.
2 survivors, weren't there?
Another
was
one
another one,
booked
right?
it. Yeah.
Because Rick wanted to take Michael and go hunt him down.
Yeah. Ugh, I gotta unlock the inventories. Okay, here we go. There we go.
Contagious is passed out. Jacobs is lying on the floor, just dead eyes staring up at the sky.
Yes. Okay. So
Aowen was looting the body.
Mm-hmm.
No, we had made it past that. Awen had climbed her sorry ass into the cart and it was like, I just killed a man. Let's go.
Yes. Did you guys want to scout out the area and investigate, like, where they had been?
I guess we should probably do that. What do you guys think?
So Rick is currently on the ground, shaking, kind of with his knees up, holding him like this. You know, he's very tall. He's small, you know, so it's just this tiny little, foot high thing, shaking.
He's got gas.
My man's is
Okay.
constipated.
Yeah, sometimes it be like that.
So
Oh
above
yeah, and you
table,
guys found the
he-
note in the one guy in the captain's
Yeah.
saying congrats on
Yeah.
your
That's why Awen was
promotion.
like. Awen,
And
I
he was
think
I
like
just want to leave.
Awen is like me and wasn't thinking when saw the dude retreating and was like, oh, we need to get him. And then she was like, oh shit, he was retreating. I didn't have to do that. And then she saw the note and she was like, oh, this hurts.
Yeah, now little Jimmy's an orphan.
If
don't
it ain't
worry,
the
that dude wasn't getting
consequences of
away.
my own actions.
Well, well, well. Okay, so if you guys are going to investigate the area in which they were saying, let me share that map too, actually, just so you guys kind of have a visual. And forgive the slowness fantasy grounds as being real dumb. Anyone investigating, go ahead and give me an investigation check, please. Roll for inspection.
Sure. Ooh, hello, map.
Yeah.
Well, well, well.
On the map.
Hello, bees.
Investigation. Nice.
Nice.
Fuck ton of nothing. I think part of why is it okay that like the spiritual weapon is up outside of combat or does it immediately go down?
No, until you decide that you don't want it
I
anymore.
think Awen is distracted. She's looking at this spiritual weapon, which she's cast before, but this is like the first time she's taking a chance to actually look at it, and have a moment. It's just interesting. It's like the tiny thing inside the vial, but bigger, and she's just kind of watching it.
And it does.
How
It has a
moves
very,
and
very similar feel to it, in that it is ethereal, obviously, and it has kind of that silver ethereal coloration. And it's something that seems very, very fragile, but durable at the same time. And if you were to try and touch it or grab it, your fingers would slip through it almost like mist. And there's like a cold electricity that kind of surges through the tips of your fingers or the palm of your hand as you try to touch it. It is very, very beautiful. Contagious, are you checking things out at all?
Oh no, I'm passed out on the ground.
Okay, perfect.
Just
perfect.
taking that long rest.
So, yes. As you guys kind of check out the area where they were hiding, you see that there isn't a whole lot over here, but there is some stuff. There is a pouch that has 34 gold total. I'll let you guys do the math and add that. I don't want to keep locking and unlocking stuff because things are slow on my end. There's some fine clothes and cloaks, just hooded cloaks, nothing crazy or culty. There's a crate that has spices and some furs in it. With an 18, and you find obviously adventuring gear, bedrolls, things of that sort, mess kits. What really stands out to you, Jacobs, let me bring these up. The first item, I'm going to drag and drop these onto your character so you can see what they are. There should be 4 total. Actually 5, because you do find a pair of these as well.
So many tabs. Waiting for that fifth one to come through.
Coming right.
But so far, I can see everything else.
Okay, here comes the 5th. There's only 1 of those, though.
Wait, how do I unlock my inventory?
At the top of the character sheet, there's a little lock button.
Oh.
Did you drop this on everyone's screen?
No, just you.
Okay.
When you share it with the group, I can say out loud.
I'm just reading things.
Okay.
How far is Okay, so I'm right next to Contagious. Okay. So Rick is gonna kind of crawl over to Contagious and like kind of put his ear on like Contagious's heart, trying to listen for, you know, like a heartbeat.
Before you even get that close, you hear him snoring.
Okay.
Sounds like Rick.
And
For the
Rick will-
moment. Sorry.
Hold on,
Continue.
yeah, hold on,
RGJ.
Cass.
No, go ahead. Me or Cass?
Go ahead, JJ.
You were talking before me. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I mean, Rick's just gonna, you know, kind of like he's gonna like, kind of go to touch him and in like a, like, he feels horrible for the lightning move that he did.
I forgot about that.
Shatter. Yeah, and he's just making sure that Contagious is okay.
As you get in close and you listen to his labored breathing and place your ear against his chest to hear his heart, there's a wind that comes coursing through this section of thicket. Rick, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh shit. I was gonna say, Contagious, this is the perfect opportunity to scare the shit out of him.
Can you imagine? Rick, the
This isn't good.
rhythmic beating of Contagious's heart.
It's crazy to me how you have a +1, but you always roll so low.
I know, I love it.
That's Rick.
Becomes more likened to the sound of a beating drum. His breath begins to sound almost like a tambourine. And there is an eerie flickering tune that crackles like burning wood that flows with the wind. You experience an overwhelming surge of heat that courses through your veins. Your vision begins to blur slightly as beads of sweat moisten your brow. At the edges of your sight, for just a moment, you see dancing flames.
Can I roll
The-
to insight this?
You can. It's going to be a very high DC because you had said you were investigating and like checking out your weapon. So this is all kind of taking place simultaneously. The
Can't hurt. Why?
melody being carried on the wind for just a brief moment begins to howl like the screams that haunt your dreams and memories. As you begin to feel your chest tighten, finding yourself back in the inferno of your past, you are momentarily not just disoriented, but almost catatonic as the cool, cold, fresh feel of the breeze kind of licks at your skin, sending a chill through your body before the screams fade back into a melodic tune that lulls you back to the present moment. As the fire dies down and the heat begins to fade away, you hear the ethereal harp filtering in through your ears. The cusp of a new tune. An urge to piece everything together. I hope that makes sense without saying too much above table.
Pretty sure I understand.
Okay.
Is this a constant, like, specifically the ethereal harp? Like, am I hearing this like nonstop?
It remains for a bit, yes. In total,
snap.
it's not going to be like a forever thing, but you know that this is not the first time that you have heard this. This is a very, very familiar tune, and all of the flurry of emotions are all too familiar, yet foreign.
So Rick would kind of fall back, kind of onto his butt, and just start, like, literally looking like a lunatic, just looking around, like, where the heck is this coming from? And he'll probably just end up laying down right next to Contagious. Just remain still.
Okay.
Bro nap.
In the moment, and I'll come back to your role in just a second, Awen. In the moment that the paralysis essentially dissipates and fades away, and you begin to look around frantically, the melody grows stronger, but from everywhere. You are not able to pinpoint a direction, let alone a source. Almost as if it's screaming from within you and growing stronger as you search for it.
Maybe I shouldn't be making a bagpipes. I should be making I'm just kidding. Okay.
No, I have plans for your pipes. That sounds gross. I don't like that.
That's crazy.
Don't like that.
Please. Please.
I instantly
Don't you
regretted
now?
that.
Oh man.
With an 11, Awen, kind of seeing this out of the peripheral of your sight, so just out of the corner of your sight, what you see is Rick exhausted and tapped on arcanic energy and resources, checking on Contagious, kind of looking around, making sure that nobody else is going to come out of the woodworks, and then passing out next to him.
Yeah, that checks out.
And then, Jacos, what were you going to say?
For the moment, seeing that everyone is either dazed or completely passed out, he's gonna put these things in the bag.
In your inventory?
Yes.
Got it.
I was about to say, Awen, probably having watched Rick do that, will probably kind of just like look over her shoulder and be like, "Did you find anyone?"
No
Nope.
one's left, but I found, trying to get into it. Give me a second.
Take your time.
I found a few things, but looks like now's not the time to be using them, so I'll hold on to them until we're at a safer place. I did find 34 gold and
Yeah.
distributed that to everyone, plus Aowen's 20. Everybody gets 13, and Jacobs is keeping 2 more from what he found.
Naturally.
Okay.
That's something that we have to add.
Yeah, go ahead if you don't mind.
Not a
Just 'cause
problem.
it'll
You didn't
be-
already do the 5 each?
I did do the 5 each, so just not the
You did.
Okay,
8
so
from
you
Jacos.
get 8 more,
Yes.
and I get
10 more.
10 more.
Yes.
Okay.
Ballin'.
So the rest of the things are going in the bag
Okay.
for now.
Okay. And they are
Hey,
in your
Lynn, looks-
inventory.
Anyone looks
I'm
concerned.
liking some of those descriptions, let me tell you.
Why isn't this working? You just click it and then type, right?
Yeah, but you've got to unlock your inventory first.
Oh. How do you do that?
At the top of your character sheet, at the very top, so where you like close out and minimize, just over you'll see a little padlock. You'll click
I
that.
see it.
Yeah.
Thanks. No. Okay, that was actually hilarious. My cat just slapped my other cat so hard that a tuft of fur just started floating away from her. That was hilarious.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Cats are assholes. I love it.
Yeah. They didn't see each other. I have like a box in the middle of my room that's taller than them that I need to get rid of. I just have it. And they were on both sides of it. So they didn't see each other. And the other one came around to the other side and spooked the other one. So they just slapped them.
I respect it.
Now there's just a black ball of fur on the ground.
Can I?
Look, that's you.
You had a child.
So Jacobs is gonna walk back to the troop or the group and sit on the back of the cart. Considering those two are gone, we're not moving for a while, you think?
I think it would be wise to rest a bit if it's safe. We shouldn't be too far from town. Correct, because we're on the 3rd day of travel.
Yeah, you guys will be at town by the end of the day, depending on how long you post it.
If we were to like just short rest it
Yeah, you guys can definitely short rest when we do that.
or
on your
give him like a
character
power
sheet.
nap, I don't know.
Power nap.
And you guys can
we can-
roll your hit dice if you'd like.
Short rest. So if only one pops up, I just click that.
Yes. Yeah, it'll tell you on the main tab how many hit dice you have per short rest.
Oh, I'm sitting pretty good. Okay.
Ooh, we'll take that.
Nice.
Rolling. Oh, that negative con feels so bad.
Eh.
Okay. Anything you guys want to do during your short rest, or are we just power napping it up and heading out?
I think Eowyn
Oops.
is her awkward self, and
Stop it.
while they're waiting, I don't think she's able to sleep. But she's probably just like also sitting in the car, just kind of like. If Jacos initiates conversation, but otherwise she'll keep to herself.
Oh, but you do see him talking to himself.
Okay. Anything I can decipher, or anything interesting, or just like normal talking to self?
Like going through the events of the battle and like thinking about what he could have done differently or better. It is like seeing a phone call.
Okay. That's fine. That's fun.
Okay.
I want to listen. Like, you know. Obviously, the story's not. He's like talking to himself, but. Actually, doesn't have anything else to do. But that's it.
Okay. Let me get a party token. Alright, as you guys get ready to head back out, Contagious, are you driving again?
Actually, pause. Sorry. I don't know why I just thought of this. Can I insight it to see, like... You said, like, another side of a phone call. Is there pauses where, like, it sounds like... Or, like he might be getting a response? Like, is there, like, pauses for another person to talk?
Every once in a while.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and you had wanted to do another history check for the elemental,
Thing,
correct?
yes.
Yeah, go ahead and do that for me real quick, please. Rick would probably have to be picked up.
Okay. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing striking a bell.
No.
It was almost a 16.
I know, and that would have been great. Okay.
It's Poe.
I was gonna say, if only
I am
Awen knew you
completely
were
out.
trying. If only Awen knew you were trying to look at this in depth, and maybe she could help you out.
Yeah.
This is like, yeah, bad.
So as we get ready to finish the trek back to Red Larch, Contagious, are you driving again?
Yeah, after a short rest, he's back to like 100%. He's just gonna continue going.
Okay. Go ahead and, as you guys get ready to pack up, go ahead and give me your animal handling with advantage. Okay. So Michael's a little stubborn, but ultimately will end up heading the direction that you want him to. It takes you a couple of tries to get him going, as he just kind of ignores you and is chewing at the grass around. And as he begins to start moving, stops at some of the bushes and begins chewing at those and sniffing around. But after a few minutes, you get back on the road. Anything you guys would like to discuss prior to being back in Red Larch?
Did anyone pick Rick up?
I was gonna say the only thing I want to say is if Rick was on the ground when I woke up, I would have just very unceremoniously picked him up and put him in the back of the cart.
Okay.
Well,
Probably at least on something comfortable, but like this just seems par for the course. So I'm just like, oh, cool, let's grab Rick.
He would immediately crawl over to wherever his bagpipes were and just like caress them or something.
Wait, what are you caressing?
The bagpipe.
His
His
bagpipes.
pipes.
Well, whatever phase they're at, or whatever wood he's chiseled up until this point.
He's caressing his wood.
Yes,
I like it.
that
I like it.
typical Rick stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Is Cloud Tagus still up, or is that gone?
No, that got
They
taken
have-
down. Some dude hit him.
Okay.
Everyone will probably be like, "That was you make a second version of yourself."
Yeah.
That was cool.
Honestly, I don't really know how it works. It just kind of does. But it's pretty handy.
It looks like it.
It's also exhausting.
Do you feel more rested?
Oh yeah, I feel great.
That's good.
Rick is overhearing this. Actually, could I roll a perception check to see if I overhear this? Because I'm assuming they're in the front.
Yeah, but you were like right behind the buckboard, right?
Yeah.
It's not a big part.
Yeah,
So-
I
I'd
was
say
at
unless
Rick is
they're
hearing this.
whispering. Yeah, unless you're here, like unless they're whispering and trying to have like a private conversation, all of you would be able to hear it.
So as Rick is hearing this, he kind of gets like a little agitated, just slightly, and he's like, "I made 3 of myself," and he's kind of just
I think
like trying,
Oh.
like he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything, but that's what he's thinking. And,
I'm gonna- I'm
For a
gonna
brief
insight to
second.
see if I notice this.
Well, I'd say like with your passive perception, you would notice that if you want to insight to see if you can like ascertain the shift in demeanor, you can. But I feel like again, unless he's actively trying to hide it, I mean, you guys have spent enough time together that even if you don't know somebody, you can kind of tell if they're like this bitch, like you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm imagining the
yeah, kind of
I
like
was
that.
gonna
Like
say,
I made 3.
like mom from the passenger seat, she'll like playfully like turn around and be like, and your duplicates were cool as well.
And you'll see him kind of puff up a little bit. Thank you.
Thanks,
Or
man.
some... Thanks, mom.
I want snacks. I'm just kidding.
All I could think of
Are
when
we
you were
there
asking
yet?
about Cloud Tages was it ain't easy being breezy.
I'll bring the wind into
Excellent.
this.
Are you? a little
Contagious will
winded?
probably turn around to look at Rick and be like, "Hey, you won the bet fair and square, but I'm gonna get you next time," and kind of hold out his hand for a handshake.
Rick
Sniff it.
will take it and kind of like pull you to him a little bit.
As soon as you grab my hand, I'm shocking you.
Oh, I deserve that.
A little bit. I'll just go back to what I was doing.
I will never do that again, Contagious. I promise.
Keep track or shake his hand.
Shatter him.
That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, give me like 8 more levels, and then then we'll be good. But until then,
Okay.
full damage, baby.
Maybe we can find some armor for you or something that gets empowered by light.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But most armor I want
lightning
does
rod?
the opposite.
Hey, we can always homebrew something, as long as Denali.
Awen's like, what's homebrew? I'm just kidding.
I know an artificer.
Hey man, I'll be happy with just straight plate armor. All right, I ain't reaching. And I'm 1/15 of the money that way there. Let's go.
Yes, that's it. I don't need much.
Fucking 1,500 gold.
Yes. Wasn't it Rick who was like, we could steal that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Rick wanted me to steal that armor, 100%. And the dude at the store was ready to try to like sauce me up to buy that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you heard how I was talking to Septus. Okay.
Yeah, that shield didn't do him too well.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I have it.
That's great.
Yeah, he dead now. Forever too soon. Okay. As you guys return to Red Larch, turning down the long road to head back into town, the sun is beginning to set in the horizon. You can see that the street lamps and street torches have started to come on, giving a warm yet eerie glow to the small settlement of Red Larch. You see that there is some activity in the different areas, people coming out of the shops at Bellavo's, people leaving the butchers. But after a long essentially week of being gone, you have returned once more to civilization.
I hope
I'm gonna hate this
Lisa's
conversation.
upset.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go straight to the inn.
Going straight to
Park
the
around
Swinging
back, yeah.
Sword. Okay.
Yeah.
As you guys are at going around back to the stables, essentially, you see a face that you've seen in passing, but this is the first time you guys will actually interact with this person. This is a gentleman. He has dark, sun-weathered skin, a patch over his right eye, long, almost ebony hair. It's kind of pulled back in a low bun. And he's working in the stables, moving hay around, making sure, you know, I don't know, the stalls are secured and stuff. And he turns back to you, and his one eye narrows at you a bit. We did not think you would be returning, or bringing Michael back.
I'm gonna butcher this, but is this Irune Delder, the dude who works for Kalisa? I think I got their name wrong. I can't read my own handwriting.
Iron Thelder, yes it is. Above the
Okay, because she did point him out to me last time I was here. I didn't interact with him, but I did. I know that was him. Okay, cool. So that is him. Yeah, I'm just gonna give kind of like a shy little like wave with the kind of like, yeah, I know I'm in trouble kind of face. Like, yeah, we're back. A little more than we bargained for, but we're back.
He will quickly begin to undo the gear from Michael, detaching him from the cart, taking off the harness and the lead and all that stuff. I don't know what it's called. You guys know what I'm talking about, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
the ranger
Yeah.
shit.
Awen's trying to assist, just kind of like casually helping out.
Trying to help him out? Okay.
Yeah, casually.
Okay. He during this interaction, he's talking more at you than to you, as he is busy, you know, with Michael and leading him into the stall and checking him out and making sure he's okay and all that stuff. Well, Kalisa is someone who likes to keep her word and expects the same of those who give their word to her. But I think she'll be more relieved that you guys are okay than she will angry or disappointed that your word doesn't carry as much weight as she may have hoped it would.
Rick will stand up and he'll say, I'll talk to Kalisa.
He stops
I'll make things right.
and turns to you and just kind of laughs before turning back to securing Michael in the stall.
And I gotta repeat, what did he say about your word not meaning as much? I missed that.
Saying that he is sure that Kalisa will be more relieved than you guys, that you guys are okay, than upset that your word basically saying your word doesn't carry much weight, as much weight as she thought it would.
Okay, I see.
Are you really doing that, Rick?
Maybe slightly. He'll just kind of like.
I mean, if you want to fuck around, we can be in our find out era.
No.
Down, boy.
Is Kalisa inside?
Yes, if she's not inside, then she may be out with the makeshift kitchen. There was another fire 2 days ago, but if she's not dealing with that and still piecing things back together, she'll be inside. Quick perception checks from everyone, please, and then go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna point out the deer meat that we brought for them and ask him where he wants us to put it.
That is something you'll need to take up with Kalisa.
You said perception?
Yes, please. That seems
I'm
about
doing
right.
great, guys. I'm doing
Killing
great.
it. Okay. Awen and Rick, as this is all taking place and you guys are outside, you hear that across the way there is more activity than normal. You guys know that the helm at High Sun has usually, when you guys have been near it, has had a good amount of patrons in it. A lot of people talking and imbibing, all of that good stuff. But it seems more lively tonight.
You said the helm?
Yes.
And remind me what that is.
The helm, let me ping it on the map, which is here. So you guys are here in the stables behind the swinging sword, and the helm is here across the way. And when you guys had first come to town and met Kalisa, she had basically told you about the issues with the kitchen and the kitchen fires and all that stuff, and so that they were rather limited on what they could cook and prepare for meals. They could still make some stuff and make things work, and they obviously have a very good drink selection, but that if you wanted something more satisfying or fulfilling as far as food goes, that the helm would be the way to go.
Is that another tavern or like specifically a restaurant?
It's a tavern, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for Kalisa inside.
Okay.
I'll say I'll come with.
Yeah, if anyone's welcome to come with me.
Yeah, Rick will come up too.
Everyone is going in. Okay.
Oh.
As you enter, are you guys going in through the front, or are you going back in through like the side where she had taken you out before to show you the makeshift kitchen?
Yeah, I'll just go through the side if we know where that entrance is in the back.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, if it wouldn't be weird, I don't see why not.
Okay. And you guys do see that the chef is back there with a much more rudimentary setup than what you guys had seen before. But entering, there are a couple townsfolk who are seated at some of the tables in the bar area, and you see Kalisa from behind talking with them, picking up glasses and bowls and plates and things of that sort, and partaking in conversation with them.
I'd probably just kind of stay on the side of the room and wait to kind of like wave her down, get her attention.
Okay. You hear her tell them, "I'll be back with that in a moment." And she turns and does almost a double take as she sees you guys out of the corner of her eye, and then kind of stops in her tracks and looks at you again.
Real quick, before we go in, I kind of want to just like slap the place on my face where I have a bruise from the fight to make it more prominent. We're going for pity points here, people.
Rick's gonna tug at your leg, and he's gonna look up. And he's like, "Who's talking, you or me?"
Why don't you let me handle this one?
And then he just slaps himself across the face.
You know,
Right? Like,
Fucking psychopath.
You gotta amp yourself up to talk to the pretty girl.
I just
'Cause
in my
That is
mind.
what this is looking like.
Yes, and in my mind I just pictured this. Oh, this is a competition Rick is not gonna be happy about. Okay. The chef just kind of looks at you like very confused and concerned, like what the fuck, but then like quickly like averts his eyes if you were to look up at him. If he
I'm so-
notices you noticing
I
him
would-
noticing you, yeah.
even if he turns around and be like, "There was a fly," and then people.
Just for shits and giggles, roll deception.
Here we go. Amazing.
what the hell?
Killing
no, I
it.
thought that was a 19. That's not a 19 at all.
He just gives
It's
one of
ages-
those. Mm.
A paragon of social norms here,
There we
people.
go.
Yes, yes. Okay, so as Galita, I keep saying Galita. Sorry, Kalisa sees you. She stops in her tracks, and looks back over her shoulder to make sure the people she was just talking to are in conversation, and then kind of narrows her eyes as she begins to approach you.
Ooh.
Awen will like shyly wave with like a soft smile.
Where have you been?
I am so sorry. That was so much more than we bargained for.
The journey was longer than we had anticipated, and we ran into trouble.
And you didn't think to message or send word or anything.
Sorry, we don't have any messaging capabilities.
Perhaps next time you should give a bigger window or communicate that things may take a little longer. I understand things come up, but I was worried. There have been a lot of things going on, and for all I knew, you were dead on the side of the fucking road. With my ox, by the way.
There you go, JJ. Confirmed.
What animal is this?
Let's see.
It feels
Oh
like
my
your
God.
first grade teacher scolding you.
This is very matronly.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy that you've had this prepared.
Rick is kind of just looking at Contagious, just kind of shaking his head. This was
Before
the way to do it.
anything can get too stupid,
We're past that point, sorry. Go ahead.
like, look at her like genuinely understanding her frustration and not trying to deny any of it or like get defensive. We sincerely apologize, and if we continue to work together, we'll do just that. In trying to find sustenance on the road, we did manage to fell a deer and brought back the remainder in hopes to help feed your patrons and also apologize.
Her face softens a bit, and she lowers her gaze momentarily. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so harsh. I was just very worried and concerned for your well-being. There's been, as you know, a lot of things taking place, and more has come up since you've left, and I was just scared. You've been the first group to seem to truly care and want to help.
Your reaction
apologize.
Your reaction's completely warranted. What else has happened?
There are...
Say this in the middle. Sorry, I'm new. Before we say this in the middle of your very nice establishment here, might need a private room
Might we
or
what?
space. Find a private space. Prying eyes and all that.
This is Jacos,
She
and
will extend her hand.
He shakes it.
Yes. Give me a moment to take care of these gentlemen, and I will take you up to my quarters.
certainly. She gives like a don't glance to Rick.
I was about to do the same thing.
Don't.
We both just look at Rick, just don't do it.
And Rick, do you actually say any of that to her? Or is that just what you were going to say?
No, it's gone.
No, I was gonna say I wasn't trying to kill your vibe.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
There'll be time. There'll be time afterwards. After hours. Once we get all the business done.
Good.
It's all good. Does Rick, real quick, does he still hear this, the harp?
At this
Or is it
point,
gone?
it has faded. It
Faded? Like,
dwindled.
completely
Yeah,
gone?
it's dwindled as you drew closer to town. In this moment, it is gone. But the memory of it clings.
Okay.
Uh,
He'll probably
she
just sit at the bar or something.
Okay. And she heads to the back of the bar, sets some dishes down in a bus bucket, essentially, prepares some drinks for the table, and drops them off. And you see her kind of disappear around the corner that leads into the lobby. And you hear her speaking. And a moment later, she and Galita both come back around the corner. Galita gives a gentle smile and wave to you guys before making her way to the back of the bar. And Kalisa will motion for you to walk with her.
Awen will return the smile. Are her sleeves rolled up?
They are down.
Okay.
That bitch.
Heading upstairs, she will take you to her quarters. Contagious, you have been here previously. While Galita was minding her own business in the next room, you know, getting linens and all that good stuff. Having you guys come in, she closes and locks the door behind her. And before I get into the events here, you guys are okay? What happened?
It's bandits, really. As far as we could tell.
And that added 3 days to your journey?
No, the journey was longer than we had expected, adding a few days both ways total.
I see. Most of you look okay. And she says that she kind of like side-eyes Contagious, and you see her, you can feel her gaze lingering on the bruise on your face. People have begun to question what is going on with the stoneworks and the disappearance of Malikos. More whispers of hooded figures have begun to circulate. These seem to be slightly different than before. More sightings with a different feel to them. I don't know how to describe it. Something more sinister, almost. As if Malikos' disappearance has stirred something.
In the whispers regarding the stoneworks, is it just the typical rumor mill? Is it something that, our names have been attached to, that you've heard people drawing it back to us?
A couple people have questioned your involvement, but it hasn't specifically been indicated that there's any direct correlation. But there are those who question it. More whispers about the Mirabar caravan have been surfacing as well. I've received word that there is someone staying at the helm that had an encounter with them or had been traveling with them. I don't know the specifics. I haven't had a moment to make my way over there myself. There's been a great unease since you've left.
we were able to reunite our friend with his people and bring back another. She'll like gesture to Jacos. And we were able to learn some more. Kind of. More so confirmed our suspicions that this might be something larger than chance missing persons or one bad local business.
There's a new patron here. Brother Erdon. That's Eardon. He's a traveling priest of Lathander. And he recently came in from Belliard by way of Westbridge. And he had mentioned that the delegation had been in Westbridge, or I'm sorry, in Belliard 10 days ago when he had left. He's quite puzzled and perplexed that they have not yet arrived. When he had crossed their path, they had intended on stopping here on their way to Waterdeep. He doesn't have much information about what we've been experiencing here, but said that there were rumors of multiple groups that sound similar to the ones you've encountered in below the Stoneworks office. Strange weather patterns during his travels.
Andy, just so you know, your mic is being funny. I don't know if you're trying to say anything.
Beep boop. There we go. Thank you. No, just saying, seems like we have a couple leads to go off of now.
What information were you able to obtain during your travels? You said you've discovered more.
How do we want to answer that?
Yeah, it's pretty vague information.
It was. Should we be like, yeah, something cultish seems to be going on and it's like kind of elemental? Like how
Yeah,
much do we
I think
tell?
the only concrete info we got was it's connected to the elements.
Yeah. Like, especially with like Elita. I know she's stalking. I know she's creeping in. Can I do a perception check? See if we're being...
Absolutely. Listening for any kind of movement and stuff from one of the adjoining rooms or outside the door.
Why be
Yeah, that.
subtle? Rip the door open. Scare the fuck out of her if she's right there.
Isn't that what Katie just tried to do?
I did do
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that slutty Brenda 20. You take a moment as the room is filled with a momentary silence, and as you kind of lean closer to the wall or the door, you hear no movement. You hear nothing from outside the door. You do hear the sound of like moving furniture and very dulled voices coming from below, but nothing from outside the room.
I think prior to arriving, Awen would have initiated a quick like check and like, okay, how much are we telling? Not out of distrust for Kalisa, but just out of, you know, keeping everyone that doesn't need to be in the know informed, you know?
Yeah. No, Contagious's view on this is Kalisa's the one person to tell everything.
Okay.
He's fully invested in trusting her just because that's the one point of contact they really have at this point.
Yeah.
There's always Frank.
What does
Dump all
Rick
this on-
think?
Rick isn't there, guys. He's sitting at the bar downstairs.
Oh, you stayed down there?
Before.
Yeah, I said that. I went.
Okay,
over
I
to the
thought you
bar.
were just doing that and waiting till she was ready to go
Nah.
upstairs.
Nah, I'm down there.
You're missing the gangbang.
But
I am missing the.
bef-
Yep.
on the way, before we actually arrived to town, Awen would have like done a check-in and been like, what do we think? What are we telling? Does Rick have any opinions on that? Okay.
Rick didn't even want to go on the thing. Like, didn't wanna-
Okay.
He. Like that's up to you guys. Say what you
Awen will
want to say.
also.
Say what you need to say. He'll just start singing that song.
Awen will also give Jacobs the opportunity to say something, not that he knows who Kalisa is or any idea of whether or not she can be trusted. She doesn't want him to feel left out.
If you think we can trust her, go ahead.
Okay. Back into present time. The main confirmation that we got, as you know, Contagious had reported, it seems to be something cult-like. And we've received, as far as we can tell, not necessarily concrete, but some confirmation that it is somehow involved with the elements or elemental based, which won't come as a surprise given the weather and all the natural events, the fires in your kitchen. So I wanted to ask, is your kitchen the only one having that issue?
As far as I'm aware, it is. The helm hasn't seemed to have any problems.
Are other businesses, even if it's not fire, experiencing weird events either, or is it just...
I've not heard of any other events or going-ons like this. We've had the strange elemental patterns, the sheets of rain, and the earthquakes and the winds that blow and howl harder than we've experienced before. But I've not heard of anything from anyone else as of late. For their businesses specifically.
I see. That is pretty much the extent to which we learned. Contagious had shown her the symbols, right?
I believe he did.
I believe I did. I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, we had those. Yeah, because we got those originally from. Yeah, I would have shown her that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were not familiar to her.
Okay.
She was going to try and see what she could find out about them, but has had no luck yet.
Awen will ask for a piece of paper and something to write with. Or she can grab her own if it's not on hand.
She would go over to her desk and pull open a drawer and pull out a couple pieces of parchment and then bring over an ink pen for you.
Okay. And she will again draw just the. Hold on. Dude, you've come so far. Where the fuck is it? Here it is. The wind sigil. The upside down triangle with a little chicken foot
Mhm.
on the top. And ask again, have you seen this one? Even if not in what you've been investigating, just around.
The only
Like
time
what?
I've seen this was when Contagious shared it with me.
Not that I distrust her, but can I insight?
Absolutely.
It's entirely possible that, Alita never rolls her sleeves up, but I don't want to straight up ask that. Not yet.
The
So-
leader or Kalisa?
Alita is the employee.
Mhm.
Okay.
As you watch her face intensely as she looks and ponders over this symbol, there's not any sign of recognition or any kind of aha moment on her face. She seems to be very genuine when she says that she has not seen it outside of Contagious showing it to her.
There. This one. At the moment, along with. And she'll draw the earth one as well. These two seem to be the most active? I don't know if that's the right word, but involved in current affairs.
You think they're connected?
I do. Of the 4 symbols that Contagious had shown you, we suspect that, each symbol represents an element. Wind, earth, fire, and water. Right?
I think it's
I
right.
rolled. What the hell? How did I lose it? I haven't turned the page. Yeah, it was the 4 elements, right? It wasn't any other elements.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't remember water, but I think, and I was scared. I just kind of assumed it was that. I'm gonna dog ear this page. I keep turning back to it anyways.
Yeah, I've had to start putting like sticky notes and stuff as bookmarks in my notes and stuff. Do you know which is which?
Yes. At this point, she'll just draw the whole thing. And, label them. Not the whole thing, like, including the eye, just the 4 symbols.
Okay.
And she will put it in that order, that wind, earth, fire, water.
Okay.
But draw the symbols and their labels.
May I keep this?
Yes, of course. And not that I believe I need to tell you, but be sure to keep it safe, and somewhere only accessible by you.
As she takes it, and you say that she is folding it to a very small piece, and she sticks it into the breast pocket of her shirt. Of course.
Not her bra.
You're gonna say bra. I was like, that's
Yeah.
No, she puts it into the breast pocket. I don't have one, so I'm just putting it in my boobie.
It does look like a shark. I see it
That's
now.
what I've been saying! It's a shark!
Dude, this whole time I'm just been like, I
still
I
don't
don't
see
see-
it.
So it looks like a shark looking at you.
Yeah,
the
face
fire
on.
one. Like face on. Because
Yeah.
it's got like the two fins on the side and like a fin on the top. And it's looking. I had been thinking of like a top-down view this whole time. I'm like,
No.
Yeah. But it looks, yeah, now I see it.
That's funny.
Sorry.
Baby shark. Doo, 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 doo. Sorry.
Oh no.
Hold on. I've got it, guys. Don't worry.
Have you spoken to any others in town about this? If
No.
Maliko's involved with
No.
any of what's been going on, there's no knowing who else may be.
Then we had obviously been concerned for, and, not nearly to the extent,
Now I see it.
yeah. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Gathered some information from the foreman of Malikos, but not necessarily disclosed anything beyond, he actually helped us in sending the crew home when we first discovered Malikos. But warning him
Frank, I
that
don't think
Malikos might.
I think same with Frank, right? He told me stuff, but I didn't tell him.
Yeah, you were very
Yeah, Frank
close
told
lip.
you like names.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, person who was eavesdropping.
Malikos would know.
Yes. She would advise you guys to be very selective in who you discuss things with. Like I said, if Malikos was involved, there's no knowing who else may be, and no knowing who could turn the tides.
And Awen will add on top of that, Malikos, her area had a lot of this symbol, the Earth symbol. It seemed, as far as the elements are concerned, to be connecting to Earth. If there is a chance that all four elements are involved, that would mean Malikos is only one faction of potentially much more.
Yes. And Malikos had connections with a number of people in town.
That is another thing we heard, concerns that what we are experiencing here in Red Lodge is not exclusive to the town. From what we heard, with rumors of other organizations, I believe one of the workers of Malikos spoke to Contagious about. There is rumor that of these big organizations, they are from all over, but Red Lodge seems to be the meeting place or the epicenter.
Have you any idea why?
My first thought was the tunnels, the mines, but that's the only inkling I have as far as something more significant. we don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot down there they did not create. It'd been there for a while. The Dwarven ruins.
Oh yeah.
She, for a moment, seems to kind of go within herself. You can see her wheels turning. There's a lot of history here in Red Larch. I wonder if there's any connection.
Is there a bookstore, something of the sort, in town?
There isn't a bookstore per se, or
Or a library?
no, there's not any archives around. But there are a number of people that you could speak to that have been here for a while. That may be able to give you some information. There may be some units at Bathinder's storage on the south side of town that may have some information or tomes.
Good to know, thank you.
With that, we're going to put a pin in the group of you guys and go downstairs where Rick is seated at the bar as Kalisa and Galita come back around the corner to the tavern from the lobby, and Kalisa and your three friends exit and head upstairs. Galita comes around the back of the bar and smiles gently at you. What can I get you to drink tonight? Or any food? What would you like?
Rick will say he'll just take some water.
Some water? Okay.
That'd be great.
Not a problem. I'm gonna turn you up at the odds. Hold on. Okay. She comes back a moment later and sets a large tankard of water in front of you. And we'll go to work to kind of wiping down the counter and reorganizing things behind the bar. You did not want to go with your friends.
No, I have a headache.
Would you perhaps like some tea for that?
No, water's fine, thank you.
Does something trouble you?
Rick will sit there and kind of contemplate answering, but he'll say, "No, just thinking of a new song."
A musician. My father was a musician as well. What's your instrument of choice?
So he'll start to say lyre, and then it'll slip, and he'll say harp, and then he'll lyre.
Huh. My father was a flutist.
Flautist.
Yes.
He'll correct.
She kind of blushes a little. You sound like him when you say that. The harp and lyre are both beautiful instruments. Have you much experience with them?
Lyre, yes. And then when he starts to say harp, he kind of like shudders a bit and says, "Not too much with the harp."
Perhaps it's time to practice a bit.
Rick's eyes just widen 10 feet. What do you mean?
Well, it seems almost as if I may be forward with you, the way you sort of flinch at the mention of the harp, it's almost as if you tried and failed and are scared from trying again. The best way to get over your fears or failures is to confront it and push on.
He kind of just stares at her like, do you know my past?
You're
know,
reading my mind? Mind reader!
Yeah, he doesn't say that. He's just thinking that. Until he honestly doesn't know how to respond to this. I don't think Rick has ever played it. So he's kind of like, I don't know. It would be fun to try with the right instrument and the right hands. Anything's possible.
The right hand.
He kinda
do
pulls
make a
out his
difference.
He kind of pulls out his hands, and you know, they're all kind of like chiseled, like just like
There's
cut
like
up
splinters and calluses.
from the bagpipes, and he's just like, I don't know if my hands are good enough tonight.
As you're having this moment of contemplation, she will pour a shot of whiskey and set it in front of you. And as your hands are kind of outward, she leans forward, elbows on the bar top, and gently reaches for one of your hands, pulling it closer to her. And you feel the soft touch, soft graze of her finger as she kind of traces along the lines in your palm, and feeling along your calluses.
Get it.
Rick
This
is
the
thinking.
lead, right?
Rick is literally thinking in his head, man, I was going after the wrong woman this whole time.
She spends a little more time, slows down as she grazes the calluses along the palm, not the palm, I don't know what the pads of your palm. And with your hand still in hers, she looks up at you, and these are not the smooth hands of just a musician. Something tells me you've got more than just that in you.
I just had a bad thought. I'm not gonna share it.
Do it!
Say it.
I like playing with wood. I don't know.
She kind of blushes a little and like tucks a bit of hair back behind her ear.
Oh, you have
It appears
so been
we
aiming for
have
the wrong woman.
something in common. As she blushes a little and lets go of your hands. No, these are the hands of a man with stories to tell. Great experiences under your belts.
Oh, the only thing under his
Wouldn't you
belt.
like to know?
She pushes the shot of whiskey towards you. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. The drink's on me. As she kind of pulls away and saunters back to her work behind the bar.
So I'm gonna roll something on the tower here.
Okay.
Oh, not the devil.
Gosh,
Roll for boner.
There we go.
Thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh god, is that Debbie? Why?
Let me message you.
Or maybe I should. Well, yeah, that.
Are you rolling for boner?
It's a con save. The whole bar's tilted now.
That's wild.
As she's leaving, I guess Rick would kind of hop off his chair and kind of grab her hand and say, maybe I would like to have a few strokes. And maybe
Go ahead. Roleplay this out.
Just say it.
and you seem to know a lot about harps. Do you have one with you?
Not
You
on
seem to
me,
know how to use your
But-
hands.
Fumbled the ball.
but I do partake from time to time.
You seem to know how to pluck the right strings.
Stroke the right chords.
There it is.
I prefer my instruments with a little more sustenance.
Thrickness.
Yeah. Do you actually say that to her?
Some
Please
thrickness.
do.
Does she know my name?
I don't think you've introduced yourself to her. So she
There you
looks
go.
at you a little
Just so you
perplexed.
know. Oh,
No,
I'm
she's been
sorry.
stalking. She knows his name.
Oh, he doesn't know that. That's a bold assumption. She's just an employee doing her work.
I said what I said.
Rick
You just-
Rick has
you
a
just
slight
opened
thought in his
Walker.
head. He's thinking, I'm so glad I didn't go up with them.
I was gonna say, in the hallway, in the main hallway, there's gonna be two parties. One is Kalisa and the three of us, and the other is Rick being dragged, Yelita with Rick in tow, and they're just passing in the hallway like that one scene from Umbrella Academy.
Oh my god.
I'm trying. Hold on. Nobody else gets to post it.
Okay.
Oh. Go ahead and give me a straight charisma check, please, Rick.
Okay.
Exactly, that's the one.
Let's see.
That's the best
From
one.
the cars.
Oh, that's great.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah. And I guide myself with that. Oh yeah.
25.
There we go.
Very nice.
Rick is on it
Scream in your
tonight.
head to catch any mind readers off. Oh my god.
You guys ever do that? It's me.
All the
Okay.
time.
I might info that for a nat 20 actually. Hold on. Let me think about this.
I mean,
No, I'm just
that's
kidding.
pretty
just-
pretty solid.
If you use inspiration, do you have to use the second one?
No, you use the better of the two.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you say that, do you have any plans for the evening?
Only if they include you.
Well, once I'm off,
I've been really
perhaps we
trying.
could. And I just above the table, I have to say, as a DM, it's
If
always
you
awkward to have
want me
these
to.
moments where it's like you're flirting with your friends. It's like I don't know, like this is the character, but it just feels weird. Like,
It's okay. I'll tell Daniel all about it.
oh, he won't give a shit. But it's just like as a person, it's like I am not like meaning this behind it, but I mean, yeah, let's get it out. She will say that, well, once I'm off, perhaps I can show you my harp and we can make some music together.
I hope these walls are soundproof.
They were.
Maybe maybe you can help me with my bagpipes.
Do you need them blown?
Oh, guys, this is it. That's the session.
I've blown on 3 of them, but
Rest of the session.
last one.
Sex jokes.
Musical sex and innuendos.
If I hear a careless whisper coming from any sort of instrument, I will leave.
She kind of blushes a little. My favorite instrument is the skin flute. Perhaps I can show you. I hate this
Learn
so
from-
much.
Learn from your father, eh?
Oh, that's just gross. No.
I just gave her the ick. Congrats. Mission failed.
I just
Lady
rolled.
boner gone.
Did Rick actually say
dry.
that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, because that would have negated everything.
Does Rick say A? No, you don't say A.
With that, she'll give you a wink and. What room is yours? Perhaps I'll pay you a visit once I'm off.
You have 45 minutes to get yourself pampered.
Oh.
You
Sorry,
read that?
Mrs.
You read that? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And just so you know, that all fades to black. We're not gonna get into all that. I
Okay.
won't do it.
He kind of he's at this point he's just like his headache is still there, but it's like
Now
pulsing
both heads
now,
are
like-
throbbing.
Yeah, and
Oh.
and he just doesn't remember. He's like, is there a ledger? Can you look it up? I don't know.
Oh
My
man.
brother in Christ.
See what you guys are posting in here. It's gonna be wild.
Go.
Wow, chicka, bow, wow. Oh, that's so cute too. Pretty writing. Okay. I think that's a good place to take our break. We'll come back and like. Do you guys want 5 or 10?
Whatever works for me.
5:10.
Yeah, that's
always
fine.
Yeah, let's do 10.
Okay, 10. Okay, we'll be back in
You
10.
have it? Are you doing okay, Contagious?
I know, this is great.
Let me see. Hold on.
And I'm just watching Beck's reactions to it, and it's been fucking hilarious.
So, fun fact, in real life, I have no control over my face. So I'm glad I can be of some entertainment.
I'm the same way. I like my intrusive thoughts. They're subtitled on my face.
Yeah.
Fucking
I
taking
was
the
gonna
drink
say.
out of the bottle, and then just the slow turn to the camera fucking killed me.
Oh, I missed it. I need to go back and rewatch the play or watch
Oh,
the
that was
replay.
priceless.
Alright, I'm gonna
If
put on my
this-
break screen.
If this stream
Rick is downstairs at the bar contemplating the musical possibilities to come for the night once Galita is off of work. Are you staying there and having the whiskey and water and hanging out, Rick?
Say that one more time.
Are you going to stay at the bar and have your whiskey and water and all that good stuff?
Yeah, he's gonna down it. Because he doesn't know what's gonna happen later.
Okay.
YOLO.
YOLO is right. Just ask me. I'm
Lost one to
sorry.
the negative column. Or add another negative, I mean.
All right, back upstairs with the rest of you. What would you guys like to do?
I'll say, what time is it? It's like dinner time?
Yeah, it's into the evening, so it's probably close to like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at this point.
Oh.
Oh, I guess I'd ask where she wants the venison to go.
Oh, yeah, we would have asked that.
Okay, that she would say we can take downstairs and we'll leave it with the chef and he can figure out what to do with it.
Okay, that's great. Awen will offer to help with that, and then while she's in the kitchen, try to investigate, like, if there's any scorch marks or anything, like, or evidence left in the kitchen from the fire to see. I don't know. She's not an investigator, but does this look like normal fire? Or did fire start?
So the fire. So you guys know that they've been trying to renovate the kitchen from the fire that originally kind of like fucked it all up, and that their cooking and stuff has been taking place outside. They had initially had like a relatively rudimentary setup, and when you guys came back this time and heard about more of it taking place, it's even less than it was before. So basically what it is now he's cooking over a fire pit, with like a stew pot, like one of the big like pots that are like really large and wide and tall. And then he's got some skillets and cast iron pans and stuff, depending on what it is people want to eat. Prior to that, they'd had almost like a soup kitchen style setup, where they had like multiple burners and things like that, and those are kind of piled up to the back of the building. If you're wanting to check them out, you can absolutely do so. And let me see. Bless you, babe. Let me see what kind of role I would have you do on this.
I was gonna say, does there seem to be any kind of visible damage left from the fires, or has it all been like cleaned up, or I don't know.
The setup that they had prior is kind of broken down and set off to the side, and what's left of it, the cookware, is some of it's almost melted, like the handles and stuff is like pretty much melted down to a nub. There are burn marks, scorch marks on pretty much all of it, to the point of, like, you know how if you have a pan that's too burnt you can't really use it anymore? That's kind of the
Yeah.
point that they're at for a lot of them, and it's all just kind of cast off to the side.
Sure.
So it appears that these had not been used on a fire, but more like they'd been set and left in a fire. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so it wasn't like the kitchen itself caught fire, it was like there was a confined fire.
Pretty much, yeah. The kitchen itself is in a renovative state, and that really, like, broken down.
Ooh, you're cutting out.
Oh, how about now?
You're good.
Okay. The kitchen itself is in a renovative state, and everything in there is broken down. So Not any remnants. There's like smoke, stained wall, and count in what's left of the kitchen itself from started.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything to be deduced there, she'll try to check it out, but I don't know why in my head I had it that like, the room itself caught fire.
The original one did, yes, but that was prior to your guys' arrival, and that's why they have the setup outside.
Yeah. Okay. So this second more recent fire happened in their setup outside.
Correct.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and they're with their makeshift kitchen.
Alright. Yeah, if there's any roll to be made, she'll do that, but...
You could give me, like, a survival check.
Can I join in on that? Like, is this like are they normal fires, or have they been started by arcane means or maintained by arcane means?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, if that's what you're looking for specifically. Or, like I said, you could do a survival as well.
Well, shit.
There's not enough evidence here for you guys to surmise one way or the other if this was just a kitchen fire that got out of control, or if there was something larger at play, something arcanic or more sinister.
Alright.
This is my first time here, so.
Yeah. And there's been a lot for you to take in for your first time here as well.
Yeah, Awen will also give Jacos the rundown of who everyone is. Very, very covertly tell him not to trust Galita, or at least be wary. And like explain, like, yeah, this is where when we first met, we all came here, and police has been helping us out, and like, you know, give him the context.
He's just nodding along politely.
Is Rick still downstairs at this point?
I would assume, unless he says otherwise, that he's still seated at the bar finishing his water. Whiskey is finished at this point. Galita would have poured another one, and then based on if you drank that or not, would keep them coming, keeping up with your pace. But unless he says otherwise, I believe he's still seated at the bar with his water and whiskey.
Yes.
You guys would see, again, unless he says otherwise, passing glances between him and Galita.
He doesn't even notice you guys come down if you come down.
Okay. If we're all gathered in the same area, Ewan will mention, we could kind of settle it down for the night, or we could try to pop over to the helm. See if there's anything worth investigating there.
Yeah. I think if, excuse me, if we can do the helm, at least just look out there today while we have a little bit of time. Tomorrow, Contagious would bring up that we should probably check back in on the tunnel where we left Maliko and all of them to see if anything's happened there since we left. And also, I would like to go talk to Augustus, who is the former quarry owner that lives out on the farm over on Cairn Road, because he might have some information on Maliko and how this all got started, or maybe involved in it. I don't know.
Good old Gus Gus.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're wanting to head to the helm. Rick, are you
Yes.
guys getting Rick's attention? Are you guys leaving him there? What's the plan?
Well,
I
even if
mean-
we don't get anything, we can get food, so we can try to get everyone over there just to eat.
Yeah, whether or not Rick is like, sorry, I have plans.
Sorry, I have plans.
Bow, ticka, bow, bow. So you're staying behind and digging it down?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm playing a harp.
Sure.
He is intrigued. He's gonna walk
Okay.
in like, okay, I'm ready to go play this harp.
Okay.
I love it.
All right.
And then, Kalista, the person who she said was at that thing at the helm was the
Mhm.
one that was connected to the Mirabar caravan, right?
Zamith, yes.
Yeah.
And she would have given you that name. Zomith.
Zonith. Yeah, before they go, having like seen the stolen glances and Rick's attitude, will just like not that she believes he needs the reminder, but remind him, to be cautious. And she's obviously saying this not while Galita's right there.
So you wait for her to kind of be out of earshot. What do you say to him?
Yeah.
You're talking to
Trust you
Rick?
know what you're doing. Yeah. Not that you need babysitting, but
With the word babysitting, you see a cringe.
she sees that and she's like, that's not what I meant. Just be cautious. With Galita. So. And have fun. And she'll walk away.
Okay. So the other three of you are going to be going over to the helm?
Food. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Quick question for you, Rick. You're like genuinely just wanting to do music stuff, right? Or are you like
Oh,
all of the above?
Yeah, he is thinking like it's purely, well,
Whether that's
I mean,
what happens.
yeah, whether or
Okay.
not that's, really what happens or not, that's up to you.
It's
that's
not
up
up
to
to me.
Galita.
That's the I will not be instigating anything. But when you do end up going upstairs, she does have a harp with her. But if that's all you're doing, you would pick up that there's a little bit of a disappointment, but she would show you how to use a harp. And
Is she like how tall? How tall?
she's average height. She's like 5'6".
5'6".
Yeah.
Okay. How tall am
You're itty bitty.
Not 5'6".
I? Shoot. Where is that? Features.
Should be under notes.
Okay, I am 3 foot, 3 feet. So I'm 2 feet, 2.5 feet shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Brother needs a stool to get to the harp.
Yeah, how big is this harp?
This
Is it like a-
it's a hand harp.
Okay.
It's Rick size.
I'm. 1 second. Do whatever with the other people, and I'll type out to you.
Okay. All right. For the rest of us heading over to the helm at High Sun, heading just across the street from the Swinging Sword Inn, there's a ramshackle 2-story building. It has rusty metal grills that cover the small, dirty windows. Again, you see the sign is just an oversized overturned wash tub, essentially, that has two eyes slits cut into it, and the horns appear to be like scraps of metal that have just been formed into a curved horn sort of attachments that are crudely set atop the bottom of the wash tub. The hearth and torches from within cast warm light out that cast eerie shadows through the dirty windows. There are a lot of voices, very loud. It's a much different feel than what you have experienced at the Swinging Sword, where things are more laid back and quiet and respectful. At the Swinging Sword, this is a lot more robust. It's a lot more bumptious and loud. There's a cacophony of voices that all kind of just chatter at the same time. Stepping in, there's a bell above the inside of the door that chimes as you walk in. Inside is a large, brightly lit wood-paneled tap room. You see that to the right there is an open tread wooden staircase that ascends to the upper floor, which seems dim in comparison to the tap room. Along the back of the tap room is a long bar that has 3 copper candle lanterns hanging down over it. And then off to the left of that, you see there's a set of stairs that leads down. There are roughly 10 tables in here. All of them are full of bodies. And all of the chairs or bar stools that are in front of the bar itself are filled. There's quite a few people that are standing around the tables, drinking, talking. The smell of roast meat and freshly baked bread fills the air. It is quite warm and cozy in here. There is a middle-aged man behind the bar who looks up and gives a quick wave as he is quickly filling tankards and glasses with different ales and drinks and handing them out to patrons at the bar.
Is it like a... Into your mic again.
Can I take a quick look around to see if anyone's paying like extra attention to us as we come in?
Absolutely. You would see that as you guys enter, a lot of faces turn your direction, but none of them really seem to focus on you. They just look up, give a quick acknowledgement, and then go back to their respective conversations. Go ahead and give me a quick perception check as you guys enter and begin to scan the room.
Can I also do a vibe check to figure out, you know, this place is obviously more lively than it was, but, like, what the vibe is? Like...
Yeah, give me insight.
Are we partying? Is there, like, oh shit, something's happening? Like...
Yeah, go ahead and give me a quick insight. Okay. Contagious, nothing really stands out to you too much. There's a lot of bodies in here. Perhaps you just weren't ready for it. Perhaps you're too tired for this shit. I mean, we all know how crappy it can be tired and worn
social
out.
event?
Yeah, when your social battery's drained and you just don't have the energy and you have to play nice. Maybe it's one of those and you just see that there's a sea of people in here. Hold on, player message. Um, Awen, with your 24 vibe check. Some of the people in here, like some of the tables that are more back in the corners of the room, um, appear to be people who have gotten off work and are just wanting to drink the day's worries and hardships away. Um, there just seems to be a lot going on. It's not a heavy or like dark vibe here, just a lot of conversations. What you would see is at one of the tables closer to the bar, there's a larger group of people around the table as well as the full table. And they all seem very interested in what somebody is saying as they're telling a story. And as this woman stands up, and I'll give a description in just a second, and makes her way over to the bar itself and gets another drink, their eyes follow her as she's continuing to talk, and they seem to be hooked and latched onto her and what she's saying as she goes to the bar and then back with her drink. What you see, and Contagious, you would see this woman as well. She wouldn't stand out to you necessarily with your role, but you do see her. And then Jacobs, you see her as well. This is a very tall, sturdy half-orc woman standing just over 7 feet tall. She is broad-shouldered and muscular. She has deep olive green skin marked with scars across the exposed bits of flesh that you can see. Her hair is dark, thick, and unruly in a very messy braid that falls down about halfway down her back. A few streaks of gray are mixed in. She has short tusks that protrude just slightly out from her lower jaw. That add to her air of roughness. You see that she is wearing worn leather armor that has clearly seen a fair bit of travel and combat. Her gauntlets are scarred and chipped. There are signs of age and use. Her amber eyes kind of glisten in the light of the light sources, the fires around. Awen, you do see that she spots you guys as you come in, and her gaze lingers for just a moment before she has pushed herself back, going to the bar and then returning. With your insight roll, you can see that even though she is no longer looking at you guys, you get the feeling that she's still very much aware of your presence and location. She seems to be very keen and aware. What to somebody who's not paying much attention seems like just kind of looking around and talking to different people. You notice that she's not looking at people, she's looking past them. She seems to be paying very close attention to her surrounding. Yes. She is very much aware of her surroundings. Something else that you notice as she turns her face, she has a scar that runs down the right side of her face and into her lower jaw, right to left. And she wears a belt that is adorned with pouches and tools. And weapons. Okay.
You know what? I am thirsty. Is anybody else thirsty?
I'll take a drink.
Jacobs is gonna go up to the bar and just buy the three of us the easiest accessed liquor.
Okay. And you want liquor, not ale?
Correct.
All right. The bartender is a middle-aged man. He would kind of narrow his eyes at you and I don't believe I've seen you here before. Welcome to the
Probably
Helm.
because I don't. Probably because I don't believe I've been here before. But this, they'll slide a gold piece over to him. This speaks for me, correct?
Ah, yes. What'll it be for you, friend?
The easiest. Well, he looks over at Aelin.
Everyone looks so contagious.
Contagious is looking off away from everyone, just kind of like, whoa, it's a lot of people. No idea what's happening.
Not the low shelf. Maybe the next one, huh?
A bit of mother's milk for you. I can gladly get that for you. And he turns to the bar behind him and goes up a shelf
Which,
and... Go ahead.
we're still on Blue Boy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It hasn't been a day.
Okay.
Yes.
Double checking.
He grabs a bottle that has a milky colored liquid in it, and he goes to pour 3 small shot glasses of it.
Listen, man, just because I'm doing the Irish accent does not mean I want Bailey's.
It's not Bailey's, it's mother's milk.
Who's Bailey?
Above the table, it's more of like a rum chata kind of thing. Because as you said the easiest thing and looked over at Awen, I say this with all due respect, Awen.
No, 100%. She's a lightweight.
Yeah, and he very much, it's like, oh, this is my first shot ever, and I want something that's easy to take, that's not going to taste like rancid ass. And yeah, so it's kind of like rum chata.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch shots, let's
Yes.
go.
Yes. Get it.
I love it.
He'll bring him back over. He'll bring them back over to the group. Considering you almost died today, I almost died today. And from the stories I've heard, she did not. I think we deserve these.
Shoot, Aeon will thank them and knock it back.
It warms your throats and chest as it goes down too, and that sensation slowly spreads throughout.
I was gonna say, not that it's anything strong, but probably easier than you were expecting from Awen. She's not new to
Fair
alcohol. But
Cheers.
she will point out the said half-orc?
Yes.
A person that seems to be storytelling or entertaining that table. That looks interesting. We're here for a dude. Like even if we're not here doing it now, it was a dude, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or did I make?
It wasn't specified.
Okay. Oh shit.
There was
Might be her.
brother Earden, that was
That's
staying
what I
at
was
the
thinking
inn,
of.
but just that there was somebody in town who had supposedly either been traveling with or had an encounter with the caravan.
Okay, this looks like it could be a person that had an encounter with the caravan.
Well done.
Above the table, what is the caravan?
So, what do you want to explain to Nolly?
I'm gonna let you guys explain this. Is
You know what?
guys had that conversation?
What would Jacobs know about the caravan?
I think Awen would have, like, in the same way she, like, was explaining everything, like, who everyone was at the Swinging Sword. I think on the way back from the troop, she would have explained their whole situation, kind of, like, from day one, and, obviously answered any questions Jacobs had, but Awen would have told him, that at the very beginning, when they were first got into town with these 2 other people, we all just met on the road and ended up throwing dude's cart instead of walking. When we got into town, obviously there was all these rumors, and there was quite a few things that stood out to us. We ended up going to try to help find this missing boy, who was Garrett Jarrett.
This
But-
would be days 1 and 2, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. But we
Can I
heard.
make a roll to see how much attention Jacobs was paying.
That's entirely up to you, yeah.
I feel in this circumstance, if Awen is gonna go through the whole story up to the death,
That's fair.
the zone out at point.
Yeah, and let's make this fun.
Especially days 1 and
Awen,
2.
go ahead and give me a straight charisma throw, Awen. And then give me a con throw, please, Jacobs.
Like a saving throw, or like a.
Just a regular charisma
Okay.
roll and a regular
Um,
constitution roll.
I will say, charisma. Awen is emotionally into it enough that, like, she wouldn't just keep talking just to hear her talk. If she noticed, Jacobs was disinterested, she wouldn't keep going, but,
Not,
Right.
and I know the role does not support this, not complete disinterest, but like, okay, what does this have to do with the journal and weird notes and my
Yeah.
friend dying?
and she will, briefly mention, the Mirabar delegation was a, caravan group that, there was rumored supposed to be, arrived to Red Larch but didn't. That was one of the few people that were missing, along with the boy. Also in Maliko, was it Malikos? Yeah. Malikos's underground things, one of the items found, which you were here for, had to do something with the Mirabar, something or the other. But basically a missing person that led us to fall down another group of missing peoples that led us down this rabbit hole in the first place. And now there's more talk of them. Potentially someone that has seen them?
Okay, so the missing people, which originally drew you to Red Larch, some of them were from this caravan.
Yeah,
And the caravan never fully arrived in Red Larch.
correct.
Okay.
They were expected to. They were on their way to Waterdeep, I want to say.
Yeah, they were traveling
But-
from the north, traveling south from Mirabar. They were going to be stopping in Red Larch on their way to Waterdeep.
Okay.
Above table, part of me wonders if this has anything to do with people from higher places coming from other towns. I didn't make that connection at first. I was like, oh, these are more missing people, until we found that Mirabar. I don't even remember what it was, but it was something.
It was like
its
a
name was
trade
Mir-
bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a Mirabar trade bar.
But it, yeah. So, so I wonder if that has anything to do with that, but, or it could be that those people died, were killed by the cultists, and that's why they have that, but,
And
No.
we're currently thinking this half-orc woman is the interesting person we're
Vomit?
looking for.
I think that was the name.
potentially. She just was a character that seemed to stick out. We were told, patron, one of the patrons at the helm, had an encounter with the caravan, or saw them, or knew something.
And as you guys are taking your shot of mother's milk, one of the tables not in the far left corner, but closer to the left corner of the room. Excuse me. Finishes their drinks, pushes their chairs back, and make their exit from the tavern.
Ooh, dibs. We'll run over there.
Okay.
After
you-
you.
And then give me a second to read these player messages really quick. Reading this, I just had a flash of that scene from Ghost. But
Oh,
she's
no,
Patrick
what is
Swayze.
happening?
Good stuff. It's good stuff.
That's definitely a good way to go about it, and things
Yeah.
would likely progress from there.
Oh yeah.
And this is
I've been feeling good.
Oh god.
I'm really trying, baby.
There we
Alright,
go.
so
Go ahead.
we've probably sat down at the table. Contagious just jumped on.
Yes, I assume you guys are all following his lead.
Yeah, I jumped on top of the table, not the chairs, and I'm just like hissing at anybody who gets near.
And if they come close, you bat enough that off.
Dibs.
Yeah.
Dibs.
And you guys are basically, there's one table between you and the table with the intriguing half-orc woman.
So we're someone in this room past the caravan, and we're looking for that someone. Correct?
Potentially, yeah.
Actually, I'm also hungry.
Like, food sounds great.
So as you guys sit down, there is a younger human male who will come over, and he begins grabbing the empty cups and shot glasses off the table, clearing it for you. He kind of gives you a little bit of a look, like one you would get at a restaurant if you seat yourself at a dirty table before the hostess takes you over kind of thing, but will give a hospitable smile and welcome to the helm. Is there anything I can get you to eat or drink tonight?
How do taverns work? It's just like the meal of the day or whatever.
Ah,
Pretty much.
we've got some roast pig for you if you'd like that, and some fresh rolls.
That sounds perfect.
Yes, three,
Very well.
please.
Anything to drink for you?
Awen looks to the other two.
Pitcher of ale.
Aye.
Because,
Name's
well-
Stanner. If you need anything, just let me know.
Do you guys need anything to drink?
Mans is just chugging that jug.
You know what? If we've all, well, I've been there.
I
Maybe
wholly
not
agree.
all. So just one pitcher of ale.
Yeah, that'll do.
I'll take one as well, please.
His
Pecos?
what was that?
I'm fine.
2 pitchers of ale and roast. So as he's gathering them, he kind of, I don't want to say not rudely, because there's not a polite way to do it, but he pushes himself between you guys to like wipe the table off, and he's not like not being gentle about it. So if there's like crumbs or anything on the table, like you guys are getting some of the backsplash from all of this, and he
Fair.
sighs heavily as he walks away, returns a couple minutes later with the pitchers and sets them in front of you. A glass of water for
I'm
you,
upset that-
Jacobs.
Okay.
What was that?
I'm upset that it's the same day.
I was gonna say, don't worry, I'll get you stuff would be throwing them back.
And then a few minutes later, he returns
We got
with
one of them.
3 plates of the roast meats and a steamed potato and a fresh hand roll for each of you. Go ahead and
We'll
give
thank
me...
him.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you guys are sitting there and closer to the... Excuse me, the person that seems to be holding the interests of everybody here.
I'm gonna hold off on that because
Mhm.
Contagious is just constantly forgetting that we have a purpose to be here, and
Okay.
is completely engrossed in the food and drink at this point.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
if
fair.
you choose, then you don't have to roll at all.
Jacobs is being picky, but before these rules go into action, he would like to try something.
Uh-oh.
Eldritch Blast!
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
He is currently appalled at Contagious shoveling
Eating?
food into his mouth.
Oh yeah,
my
it's not like there's no
It's not pretty.
decor to this at all.
Jacobs is
There's no
like
table
Belle
manners.
in the scene from Beauty and the Beast, where the Beast, he's like all done up, but he's just shoveling his face full of the oatmeal, and Belle's like,
Very much, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Um,
like it.
Real quick,
Mhm.
I know we glancing back and forth between Contagious and Awen. We here for a reason. So the fastest way I think to do this is to be just a tad brash about it.
I mean, you
If
could
I
just
may
scream their
try
name.
something.
Go on ahead. Maybe not too brash, but we left this town kind of trying to keep our heads down, but by all means, try something.
And he, well, in the middle of her talking, he slams his hands down on the table. He's like, you know, I wouldn't really have a fucking problem if anybody could find the fucking caravan, but it's gone missing in the middle of the largest road in the country. And no one knows what to do about it.
Point of
Awen
inspiration.
nearly jumps out of her seat. Especially if she's getting cut off. She like full on like almost loses her drink in her hand. Or like the food on her fork falls off like I hope
It'd
he
be
wasn't expecting
nice
one
if
of
there was a single person in this fucking town that I could ask questions to who'd even fucking seen them recently. Yeah, they're heading to Waterdeep. You still gotta pass through Red Larch. It's the biggest. It's the only way.
Just a piece of meat hanging out of Contagious's mouth as he just looks up like,
I was gonna say I'm scared. Oh. My charisma better than my con. I should well, feel it for that. Not saying it'll be any good. Awen, seeing what's going on here and still staying seated, but trying to not fuck up what Jacobs is obviously trying to lay down, will say, not necessarily raising her voice, but just going along with it. Haven't found anything else.
I know. No one has, and that's the fucking problem. And if I don't find the information, if I don't contact that caravan, I'm getting the short end of the stick. And I'm already on my last fucking straw with this man.
Give me a performance check, please.
Do
With
I get
advantage
advantage
because of
because Awen
Awen?
was helping?
I'll lower the DC a bit.
Guidance.
And while this is happening, first of all, Awen will kick Contagious under the table.
Yep.
If eyes are on her, she doesn't want to look around to see who's watching, but she's giving him like the eyes, like the non-verbal communication, like.
Oh shit.
Pay
Yeah, I'll
attention.
start looking around a little bit, like trying to look like the dude who's embarrassed by his friends look around, but trying to see if anyone's looking at us.
Okay.
Oh, this shit.
No advantage?
No, I'm lowering the DC, or both of you can roll performance.
I'm trying to think if there was any opportunity for Awen to guide him.
No, because he just went into it.
Well, yeah, but even as she was calculating her response, maybe
I'm
before
done.
she responded or as she was responding, but
Dude,
we'll let it go.
I don't know
Anyone's
what
not gonna,
says
like-
one from me.
the dice hate you.
That's like my third 2 today.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
buddy.
not-
Why don't you just eat your dinner?
Well,
Dude.
we're gonna use that inspo.
Okay.
I don't know why I have it.
Oh, it was for the outburst.
Stop it!
Oh no.
Stop!
Oh
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
I'm gonna wait. Did you already load? Well, it doesn't matter. Can I go ahead and change my mind and roll as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Swear to God. That's already a lot better. I'm gonna use an inspiration to see if I can get any higher.
Okay.
Because this isn't just like oh, let's try a little bit. This is like we made a full scene, but we made our bed. Now let's lie in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. 16 is better. The
It
Group.
will kind of like push her food back and say, "Getting frustrated at us isn't going to help."
the
I'm
group
not frustrated directly at you. The whole situation is what's pissing me off.
The group 2 tables over go quiet. Awen, with your previous perception as you were scanning the room as all this started to pop off, of 19, you see the group look over towards you guys. And there's a very awkward silence that falls over them. As the majority of the table kind of turns back to themselves and begin whispering amongst themselves. You notice that the half-orc woman that you had spotted earlier remains leaned back in her chair, babying her mug of ale. And she slowly turns her body in the chair so that she can hold her arm on the back of the chair as she is drinking and just watch you guys listening to the conversation. And she's not trying to hide it. So Contagious, even though you rolled like shit, you see that there is somebody. Like, it's very obvious. I'd say that even Rick would be able to see it. It's so obvious.
He's not even there.
I
He's in the
know.
bedroom.
Yes.
He's in the bedroom across the street.
Learning to
Yeah, I
harp.
think,
My
I
eyes
think
are on
the
something.
Contagious is just awkward eye contact with her, and it's just like, I should look away, but I'm not.
She takes a deep swig from her mug and wipes the spillage away with the back of her other hand, maintaining her contact with you, Contagious, continuing to watch you and listen to the conversation.
I'm gonna do that really weird, like, robotic turn back to the table, like, not moving my head, but moving my whole body. And just awkwardly staring at the wall ahead of me. They're watching us.
Eowyn just takes a sip of her drink. As she was pretending not to notice the lady and be focusing on Jacob's outburst, but as she notices the approach, she is just gonna take a sip, pretending not to be notice until she's fully approached.
She doesn't approach initially, as Jagos continues saying it's the only route and everything like that. She interjects. It's not the only route, just the most direct.
Jacobs will turn and look at her. You'd think. Fair enough. But you think for the status that this caravan holds, they would be taking the most direct route. And as so far on their way to heading towards Red Larch, they followed that.
You'd think. What's it to you? And at that point, she pushes herself back from the table, not using her hand. She actually will put the bottom of her foot against the table and push her seat back and almost like glide out of her chair and begin to approach, dragging the chair behind her and setting it in front of her with the back of the chair to the table before straddling it and leaning over the back at your table.
I respect it.
Mommy? Sorry.
What?
She kind of a bad bitch.
Eowyn will now not super obviously, because she's not high charisma and she knows it. I think she knows how awkward she is, but will take a moment to look around her as if just now noticing that there are eyes watching. Even if we wanted to tell you, I don't enjoy eyes.
It's hard to avoid eyes when you cause a scene, especially when you're not in your own home.
That's what I said. And she'll give
It is what I'm
Jacobs a
known
look.
for.
Then perhaps you should just own it. And she looks to you, Eowyn, and will say, and if it's not something you're comfortable with, perhaps you should take that in consideration when choosing the company you keep. Guilty
Fair
by
enough.
association and all that, as she takes another swig from her ale. So,
We can put the rulers away. I can tell you what's going on here. If I have someone who has something over, say he has one on me, and if I do not get his items from a friend on the caravan, that was on the caravan, considering it's lost, I will be in, how you say, deep shit. So, if you have any idea where this caravan might have gone, or what road they might have taken, there is at least a couple gold pieces with your name on it.
she...
Because I enjoy not being covered in shit.
She chuckles a bit. What was the name of your friend traveling with the caravan?
Fuck.
Did they tell me any names that would possibly be?
We don't have any names. This was mentioned session 1 and 2, and we were trying to decide what we wanted to do. We chose to go follow the lead of the child, and then we returned back to Red Lark with Jacos, and it was like, oh yeah, by the way, unless we tried to unless Jacos pulled a name that they found, like if
Is there any weird names in the notes? I read the notes.
Yeah, who was the Rock? The Rock? That would be a stretch. That is the only name I could think that we would know that could possibly have a connection. But that was just, he was in the cave with the item that has the same name as the caravan. That's the only thing Jacos might be able to pull out of his ass. Or straight up, no, because Malika wouldn't even make sense. She's obviously there. So you wanted to say like friend of Malika, but this is all speculation.
Yeah, I don't think Jacob's has shit.
Oh, we don't know shit. Awen gave him the rundown, but
Correct.
Awen doesn't know shit. So that's your best bet.
And I
Let's-
personally have no notes about what has been going on.
Yeah, I think you're bullshitting here.
Oh,
Hold
I'm wholly bullshitting here.
Oh, 100%. And she's picking up on that, just an FYI.
Well, no shit.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
With you guys or himself. Nah, Rick is having the
You
time.
asked
Look, that's the wrong
My
movie.
contact on the caravan.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yes, she did. Because ultimately, you have a guy.
Who was the person you were meeting on the caravan? Yeah. Who was
You
the person you were meeting on the caravan? That was her question.
Yeah, because you basically
Yeah.
told her, like, I had a friend with the caravan that was supposed to get this item to me to do some shady business, essentially, is what she's picked up from what you've said.
Sounds about right.
I'll wholly admit, I was never given a name. I was only given this paper to pass on to him, or this symbol to pass on the message that I was. Yeah, it's sketchy. I know, believe me. And he's gonna draw the what's the one that looks like a shark?
So
Fire.
you
Fire.
have a friend
Is that
who
Earth?
was traveling with the caravan, but you don't have a name for your friend. Just a symbol. Then it sounds like
Correct.
you've dug yourself into
Which
a
is-
deep heap of shit, and that sounds like a you problem.
You are telling me.
Just say something like a nickname. We don't tell each other our real name. Say a nickname. He's the North Star. Anything.
I was told my contact on the caravan has this symbol on his arms. On his right arm.
Would you like a moment to get your story straight before you feed me another lie?
I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I am looking for someone on the caravan, my contact on the caravan, with this symbol on his arm.
She side-eyes the paper and looks back to you. Well, it seems we have nothing to discuss then, as she starts to stand up, finishing her ale, and
As she's
not
getting up,
slamming it
Awen-
down, but she's not gentle in setting the empty tankard down on the table. Go ahead.
Help me, I've bullshitted enough.
I'm trying. Hold on. So you're just going to stick your nose in our business without telling us why you're suddenly interested in our conversation. Granted, it was loud. I give you that.
Well, usually when somebody causes a scene or a ruckus, if somebody were to have information that could pertain to the subject of said conversation and outburst, most people would approach to have a conversation. But as she kind of not glares, but focuses on Jacos, when people want to lie and exaggerate and fabricate things rather than being open and honest when someone approaches to help, there's no need for me to give you any information I have. Best of luck in your search for your friend, she says, cocking her head.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold up. Contagious will stand
I
up
know
at
a
this
terrible
point.
way to salvage this.
Is your name Zamith?
What's it to you?
We're just looking for information about the caravan. My friend here has good intentions, no matter how crazy that whole... I don't know. We just need information.
The path to 9 hells is paved in good intentions. Am I your friend that was supposed to have retrieved something for you? She says, sassily.
Is this still a somewhat, obviously it's out loud, but private conversation, or are there other eyes amongst the tavern? Are we making a spectacle?
Oh yeah.
People are I mean, she's not being loud or aggressive by any
Okay.
means, but she's not doing anything to, like, dwarf her. I mean, she's a big bitch. She's over 7 feet tall. She is burly and muscular, so it's very hard for her to hide that. And there are people who are watching and not, like, blatantly, like, ooh, what's going on, but looking over
Right.
and away and back and forth
Neighboring
and whispers.
tables are talking it, but, like, it's not like the whole tavern. It's like,
Yeah, before
stops your
she
eating.
just-
So.
she just said the road to hell, the hells is paved with good intentions. What the fuck is heaven in this world?
That is a
I
loaded
can only
question.
think Elysium, and that's not right.
I mean, there's like celestial type, because angels are celestials, aren't
Yeah, there's
they?
less of a direct correlation because the hells are like a proven existed place in
Mhm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that
gods. So there's a. I know.
Yeah, I think
it's
it
not
depends on what
completely,
god you
like,
Yeah.
biblical style,
Yeah,
but-
I think it's kind of like different religions here have their different ideations of what heaven is. I think it's kind of along the lines
Yeah.
of that. I don't think there's been any, like, proven, heaven.
He's gonna look at her and say the roads to paradise are paved with good actions, and we are just trying to give a good action, commit a good action.
By
how far
lying.
away is she from us?
She's in front of the table. So she had pulled the chair up to the table and had the back of the chair facing you guys and was straddling it and, like, leaning on the back of the chair when she came and sat down with you. And now she's standing and next to the chair getting ready to walk away.
Honestly, I did my job by getting you over here, and he's just gonna put 2 more gold on the table if she wants it.
She does
Yeah,
I
not
got you
move
over
for
here.
it.
They have more of the story.
Look,
Go on.
we are trying to do something to help this city, but we have run into a lot of people we can't trust. So our propensity for bullshit, as he looks at Jacobs, tends to be a little higher. But we are trying to just get information, figure out what happened, and try to help. We were told you may have information.
And from what I understand, with shit that's been happening in this town, albeit performative, you can't blame us for not wanting to show our hand.
Go ahead and roll persuasion for me, please.
Who?
You, Awen.
Fuck.
Thank you
There
for
is a-
not making me roll that whole time, Denali. I love you.
Okay, we're gonna use our last inspiration.
Okay.
Use it.
She rolled pretty well, just a heads up.
God damn it.
She stands there, contemplating for a moment. She turns away from you and walks to the bar, saying nothing. She returns a moment later with a new tankard for herself. Sitting back down, straddling the chair once more and leaning against the back of the chair. What exactly is it that you're trying to piece together? And before you say
Oh, Steve
anything,
Backberg.
she says, looking at you, Jacos, staring into your eyes. You almost feel as if she's like peering into your soul. Her eyes are sharp and watch you intensely. And before you speak, consider what it is that you say next.
He does the zipper motion over his mouth.
I am gonna pull out the Mirror Bar trade bar from my bag and just place it on the table. We have found this with some less savory types. And I've heard that the caravan is missing. We are simply trying to figure out what happened.
She picks the trade bar up and looks at it, smiling slightly, setting it back on the table and sliding it towards you. All right.
We've had other leads pointing us to that, but he has... He's straightforward that we are trying to hopefully solve some issues.
And I'm new here, so you gotta forgive me for that one.
I don't have to forgive your transgressions when you lie directly to my face.
Oh no.
Here's the story, she says, turning to Contagious and looking back and forth between you and Awen. I was hired to guard the trade caravan heading out of Mirva. They were moving goods south. Dwarves, merchants, a few guards. Nothing too fancy, but it was a decent job. The leader of the caravan, Bastion Thermunder, and I'll put that name in chat for you guys. Give me just a second. Sorry, my thing's running a little bit slow. I'm actually going to put it in notes and collab, actually. Hold on.
Beck, you need to start posting your notes at the end of the session.
Okay.
As she
Also,
says...
somebody could have given me...
Go ahead.
I spelled it right!
Yes. Somebody could have given you
Both
what?
names. Both names.
Somebody could have given me her name.
Zama's name?
Huh?
For the thing. Yeah. Who are
Oh,
you
you
looking
guys-
for?
You guys had it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it was
Well,
said
that's your
by
fault.
Kalisa when you guys were in the room.
The name was said, and then we went to this bar to look for a patron that might know the caravan.
Yeah, but that was the name we got, was the name of the patron who might know the caravan.
Okay,
Yeah.
that did not connect in my head.
Okay, yeah, so you got her name, and then you got Eredin as well. Eredin. So as she mentions the name Bastion Thermendor, she kind of scowls, almost as though she has a disgusting taste in her mouth. Takes a drink from her ale. A pompous dwarf. He got under my skin real quick. Too much of a hard head. So I left them before the caravan even hit Summit Hall. Summit Hall. I haven't seen them since.
I'm gonna go ahead and insight this. Just covering all my bases.
15. No deception.
Do we know how far that is from here?
Summit Hall. I'm trying to see if it's on this map or if I need to bring up a different one for you. So let me share this one real quick. It's not on here. I'll have to bring up another one. So looking at this map, you'll see that I drew 3 circles. One on Waterdeep, one on Red Larch, and one all the way up north before Icewind Dale, the spine of the world, which is where Mirabar is. So that's the path that they were going to be taking.
Mine isn't loading.
Okay,
But
it might take a minute.
that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the big map, isn't it?
Yeah, the Faerun.
You send it in notes.
Yeah, give me just a minute.
Oh shit, I just realized what time it is.
Oh shit.
And we haven't even gotten to the awkward sex with Rick.
We're not getting there. That's all theater of the mind, baby. Alright, let me bring this up for you guys. So you guys would know that Summit Hall is at, oh my god, where is it at? Hold on. It's in the Sumber Hills in the Desserin Valley, which with this map, let me reshare this one and then I can ping for you guys. Sumber Hills are here in this area. So a few days travel from Red Larch. There's no deception, but you can tell that she's taking a moment before continuing. Before I left, I saw some odd faces around. I've not seen the symbol that your friend spoke of. And as she says that, there's that same, like, tone in her voice as when she spoke the name of the dwarf. I didn't think much of them at the time, but looking back, they seemed a bit culty. Something about them just didn't sit right. I'm no expert, but I've seen some trouble in my time. And which symbol did you show her, Jakos?
Fire.
Fire? Okay.
Fire.
I didn't see that symbol that you speak of, but there was another one on their robes. It looked like this, and she will lick her finger and draw out the TP symbol.
Okay. That is familiar. Anything else?
After I'd left, I'd heard rumors that the caravan never reached Summit Hall or Red Lodge. They should have been here by now. Perhaps if you want to check the Desserin Road, something may have happened to them between here and Summit Hall. I'd start at maybe Riverguard Keep. It's a bit out of the way, but something feels off about that place.
Where is the place you just mentioned?
Riverguard Keep.
Yeah. Just thinking.
Okay, there's the Desern Road. Okay.
Am I blind?
And that is going to be
Is it
located
there?
in the Sumber Hills.
I see Summit Hall. I see Bellyard.
So it's somewhere in that, like, rocky area that we were in for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where some of Rick's spots were too, right? From,
Yeah, I posted it.
yeah, I'm
in
looking
the
at it.
trenches again.
So we got a lot kind of bringing us that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a few in the Summer Hills. Like, there's a few leading up that way from JJ's map.
And how long ago did you leave the caravan?
It's been at least 15 days.
And then the symbol she showed was the air symbol, correct?
The symbol that she
believe-
shared. What was that?
I think it was
Or
water.
was that?
Yeah,
No, it was the. Sorry,
it was the water. The TP.
the water.
Yeah.
Okay. Right,
To
got
give
it.
you an idea of how much I think about this campaign is that I do have the symbols memorized.
Nerd.
Yeah.
You freaking nerd.
Okay, the TP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She mentioned the TP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, yeah, that's part of the shit we're looking for.
Yep.
So we the phone is ringing.
And how many people did you say were in this caravan? Carts, stuff like that?
There were roughly 25 people when I was employed. We were going to be dropping some at Bellyard and circling around down Summit Hall and up to Red Lodge, and from there taking the Cadell Path towards Waterdeep.
Give me fantasy grounds. What the fuck? Thank you. It literally wouldn't open for a minute.
Yeah, it's real slow lately. I don't know why.
Like, I'm just switching tabs.
There can be only one.
One tab to rule them all.
Exactly.
No, sir. Not on my computer.
If I remember right, it took us like most of a day to get to the cave where the kid was, and that was not very far into the Sumber Hills.
Correct.
Ugh, that's a lot of ground to search.
So were they going north around the Summer Hills or down all the way to Longford and back?
So what she is saying is, hold on, you guys all have this map. I'm gonna draw on it real quick. What she was saying is that they were coming down from Mirabar, and then coming across, and of course it's not like exact because it's slowing and laggy. They were essentially circling around like this to drop people off, pick people up, drop off goods, things like that. Then coming up to Red Lodge, and then
that's
from
what I was
there,
thinking.
yeah, and then from there they were going to be heading to Waterdeep or towards
Okay.
Waterdeep.
So actually, and Summit Hall is the last place you saw.
Is along Keldell or the Long Road?
They were going to be going the Keldell path.
Okay. Thank you.
So they were last seen at Summit Hall. So then, theoretically, they probably somewhere around the bottom half of the Desert Road. Where did we go south out of town? Did we take the Cairn Road when we went to go find Bodhi's people, or which way did we go?
So you
No,
guys,
we went like halfway along Keldell and then split
That's
off
right.
down towards the Westwood.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
on the red large map, you guys essentially. Let me bring up the other big map. Oh my god, this shit is so slow. I'm sorry. Yeah, so you guys came out this way and down, and then cut straight across back.
Mhm. Can I print off these maps anywhere? I need some red string.
Might be able to just screen grab them and print them that way.
Yeah.
Using like a
And then
It's like a snipping tool or something.
somewhere, I will post the picture of the big map in Notes and Collab again. It'll take a minute for it to load because it's real big.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. Sorry.
Hey.
So then, spots that Rick wants to check out are actually in a different spot, which sucks.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, it's gonna be loading, but it'll take a minute.
Yes. I got it. Ignore my Smeagol voice.
No worries. My shit just straight up froze.
I'm gonna
There we
have
go.
half of Rick's profile picture in here, but
I don't see the problem.
My screen is completely frozen.
Yeah. We will go ahead, and because it's already almost a quarter to midnight, we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap things up. And then if you guys want, we can go to the Campfire Kiki to continue some RP there throughout the week if you guys want. And then depending on how all that goes when we come back next session, we'll have you guys all at the end getting ready to turn in and all that good stuff. Unless you guys want to pick up
go
with
through
the RP.
insane loot I got.
Yes.
Go through the insane loot I have.
Oh, JJ, I have hats now.
Yay!
It's so stupid
Oh
and
my
God.
tiny.
I'll
Very good.
Okay, we'll go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. This group will be back next weekend at 8:30 Eastern on Saturday. I think that's March 1st. Thank you guys for watching and supporting the stream, and we will see you later. Bye.
Peace
Bye.